In my view, the primary emotion that drives the left is the emotion of envy. Envy.
Meet Dinesh D'Souza. Dinesh here thinks that the emotion that drives the left is envy, right? Well, I guess I could just as easily say the emotion that drives the right is greed.
I mean, think of the guy who's adding up numbers for a living, or who is sweeping office floors.
But by the way, those guys are called accountants and janitors, you fucking moron.
And he leaves his office here in Dallas. He's walking home. He looks into a restaurant. Through the glass, he can see people ordering $40 entrees, laughing, drinking wine, limousines pulling up, pretty girls walking in and out. He goes, what the heck? Why that guy? Why not me? He works hard, but I work hard too. And at that moment, you begin to feel an emotion, and that emotion is envy.
It's pretty easy for me to come up with emotions that are much more accurate than the word envy. Anger. You're angry that you bust your ass and you have to eat 99-cent burgers from McDonald's while other people go out and just blow shitloads of money for really no good reason, and their whole life is just so much easier. Yeah, I could see how people could be angry about that. But how about indignation? The feeling that, something it's not fair. If one person works hard, if the poor person works harder than the rich person, does more labor, puts in more hours and everything, and makes a fraction of what that rich person has, yeah, I can understand why they would be indignant or angry about it, or even envious. You say envy like the left is based on envy, like it's a bad thing, except for that's the entire thing that runs this economy. The entire concept here is that you're envious of someone driving a nice car. So you work and save your money so you can get a nice car. It's that keeping up with the Joneses type of mentality that kind of runs the American economy. And you obviously have no clue how the fuck that works. Like, if there wasn't such a thing as envy, which, by the way, is against one of the 10 Commandments, since I know all these, you got to be a hardcore Christian. Even if you're not, you got to pretend to be a hardcore biblical Christian to get along with these right-wing fuckheads. But Dinesh is just like, oh my God, look, they're so envious when they see someone rich. Dude, I drive a 1998 Nissan Altima with 180,000 miles on it. I change my own oil and everything. I work on the thing myself, all right? Doesn't bother me one bit when I see someone driving a BMW, all right, down the road. I'm not like, oh God, I wish, why not me? I wanted to have a car that costs entirely too much to maintain. I wish that was me. Dude, no, I don't feel that kind of envy whatsoever. In fact, I often feel anger and indignation when the people in the BMW are driving like complete morons. They don't know how to drive decently, and yet they own a $60,000 car. Yeah, that can anger me. I'm not jealous because of the car. I'm angered that they would spend that kind of money on a car and they don't know how to fucking drive. That kind of shit pisses me off. Do you understand? Or is that's like way too complex? We took this to a deeper level. It's much easier just to be like, them liberals, they envious of us rich people. Oh, go fuck yourself, Dinesh.
Now, envy is not the belief that I want to do better. I should go back to school. I should start a business. Envy is the feeling, I would like to come up, but if I can't come up, I would like to pull that guy down. It's that destructive urge in human nature. It's a very secretive, vicious human emotion, and it's one that is often undiagnosed because we don't admit it even to ourselves.
Yet again, Dinesh is terribly wrong. Envy, what you're talking about, where like, if I can't have it, no one will, that's called spite. That is a totally different emotion than envy. Envy is, you have something, and I would like to have it. I wish it was me that had that whatever. That's like, I see a Ferrari going down the road, and I really like Ferraris, but I drive a moped, so I say, oh, I'm envious of the person that has the Ferrari. Totally different than, I drive a moped, therefore, I don't want anyone to drive a Ferrari. That's not envy. That's like spite. I wonder if Dinesh, the deep thinker, has given any thought to the fact that it's greed that drives the people that don't want to help those that are less fortunate. Do you understand? Like, if you make hundreds of millions of dollars, or $1 million a year, okay, $1 million a year, you have enough money where you don't have to, like, you don't have to live in a house that is that much above everybody else. You don't have to drive a car that is that much above everybody else because you make that much more every year than everybody else. But no, it's the greed of the right. I don't want to pay taxes. I don't socialism. I don't want to help feed poor children or make sure anybody can go see a doctor and have free health care. Or, that's greed. But you know why I don't want that? I don't want those kids to eat or whatever. I don't want my money to go into taxes or help the country at all. You know why? Because I can use that money to get, even bigger TV in my bathroom. That is called greed. I don't hear Dinesh psychoanalyzing them. Oh, it often goes undiagnosed because people don't even want to admit that they're fucking greedy fucks.
So here's the envious guy, seething with envy, seething with resentment. And who should come to him at this point but Obama? And Obama, himself suffused with envy, will say to this guy, listen, let me tell you something. You're not envious. You are righteously indignant. You know why? Because look at those guys in that restaurant. They've been stealing from you. Society creates wealth and then greedy entrepreneurs come in and grab it. So here's what you do. You vote for me. I will take the cops and go get their stuff. And then I will give some of it to you. So you have here a dirty bargain by people who are appealing to the lowest impulses in human nature, and it's camouflaged under the banner of social justice. It's ultimately the biggest scam of it all.
Did this motherfucker just say that Obama was envious of people eating in a restaurant? The president of the fucking United States of America, who is rich already just through his books and everything, is envious of people eating in a restaurant. He's like, and then not only that, Dinesh gets on to the point that I was talking about earlier. He says, oh, but they call it righteous indignation, but it's actually just envy. Well, if you are being fucked, like Walmart, for example, Walmart pays their employees jack shit. All right, jack shit. But Walmart makes tons, record-breaking profits every year. The Walton family and the CEOs and everyone, millions and billions of dollars, all right? It's not like they don't make a shitload of profit. It's not like they couldn't afford to pay their employees worth a damn. Now, you don't think that if a Walmart cashier, after busting their ass, like working a 15-hour day double, for $7.50 or $8 an hour, and they're walking home, like maybe they can't even afford food. Maybe, they don't even get any, and they're walking past this restaurant and they see the Walton family, or maybe, the CEO for Walmart sitting in there just chucking it up and like, he's spilling $500 bottles of wine and laughing about it. Ha ha. You think that's envy that person feels and not rage and a totally righteous indignation towards those people? And that son of a bitch actually has the nerve to say like, oh, well, you're just envious. No, I feel like I should be compensated, or by the way, this isn't me. I don't work for Walmart. I don't make $7 or $8 an hour. I make a decent amount of money at my job, enough, a living wage. So I'm not complaining about my company. I'm looking out for the other people. And you know what that's called, Dinesh? Here's another emotion you may never have heard about. It's called empathy, you piece of shit. It's being able to put yourself in other people's shoes and understand and actually care enough. And that's something that I think Jesus from the Bible, which is the holy book that the right wing all like congregate, that's what they would have done. They would have looked out for those less fortunate. How ironic that the left wing that he demonizes is more Jesus-like than the right wing which he defends. Well, and they're the ones who are all toting Jesus. They're all about Bible and family and just screw people over. They're pro-life until the kid's born. Then they're like, fuck it, I don't want to help pay to feed the kid. Like, oh, the mom wanted an abortion because she's poor and can't afford the kid? No. Oh, but the mom is asking, would you please help to feed my starving child? No. Dinesh motherfucking dumbass D'Souza. Coctopus out. A big thank you to all my patrons. I appreciate all you guys who've been sticking it out and, support me every month. I really do appreciate it. I hope you're enjoying these videos, and I hope you've noticed that I've tried to put out a lot more content and make myself available for live shows and whatever a lot more often. So I hope you guys are appreciating the work I'm putting in as much as I'm appreciating you supporting me.